If you're in your 40s, maybe your 50s, and you're sat there thinking, have I left it too late? Should I just accept where I am financially? Let me stop you, because that belief, not your age, is the thing holding you back. You can start building wealth at any age. Being 40 or 50 is not too late. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly why, based on discipline, investing, a bit of mindset, and I'm going to tell you what's been my best investment to date over the last 24 years. Section 1, is it too late? We've all heard the line, you should have started in your 20s. I really wish I started investing properly in my 20s. Yes, I was an investor as I had a couple of rental properties, but I was clueless. I didn't even know what an index fund was. But to be fair, I didn't know any better. It wasn't until I was 35 that I finally started to focus on financial education. This was because I was sick of being stressed about money, and I knew I needed to stop whinging to my poor wife. In this video, we are not going to be victims and spend any more time thinking about what we did or didn't do in our 20s. And to put a positive spin on your situation, as you're now probably a bit older, you know what you didn't have in your 20s: wisdom, discipline, perspective, a stable income, real life experience. Now you've lived long enough to know what not to do. Now, to be honest, I'm a bit of an expert on this. And if you want to know some of my biggest mistakes over the last 24 years as an investor, see below for a recent video. You've also lived long enough to know what truly matters. Hopefully in your 40s, you're more focused than ever. And that makes you dangerous in the best possible way. For those of us in our 40s, a 20-year-old has more years to compound, but they also have more years to waste money. A 40-year-old has maturity, consistency. In the UK, where we have powerful tools like workplace pensions, salary sacrifice, ISAs, lifetime ISAs, and tax-free investing, starting at 40 still gives you 20 to 30 years of compounding. This is huge. If you want to avoid getting to your late 60s or early 70s and realising you're a bit too late, hit subscribe so we can build wealth together. Section 2, the golden rule. Pay yourself first. Now, just so we're clear, I'm not an expert. I'm an investor with loads of experience. I got average results for pretty much 18 years, but over the last 6 years, things have improved massively. Like the fact I now have a 6-figure stock portfolio. Things have improved because I started to focus on financial education. It's important. So I'm an investor with mixed results, and I've read hundreds of investing books since 2019. Anyway, pay yourself first. Before the bills, before the weekly shop, before Netflix, coffee, nights out, set aside a percentage of your income, even if it's £50 a month. And here's where being in the UK gives you a huge advantage. Tools to pay yourself first automatically, like a stocks and shares ISA, where you can grow wealth completely tax-free. A workplace pension, free money from your employer. If this applies, salary sacrifice pension, pay less tax and national insurance while investing. Direct debit into Vanguard or maybe Fidelity. Automatic monthly investing. And if you want more info on what index funds to buy, see below for a recent video. Consistency beats chasing quick, easy money. Small amounts compound into life-changing results over time. Section 3, sharpen the saw by investing in yourself. This is what I was talking about when I said at the start, my best investment to date. I'll tell you why in a minute. In your 40s, you might feel like, isn't it too late to retrain, upskill, change careers, or build new income streams? Absolutely not, in my humble opinion. The man who sharpens his saw, a woman, cuts faster than the one who starts hacking immediately. Your saw is your skills, your mindset, your confidence, your experience. From that list, mindset is the most important thing. From my experience. If you get that right, the rest follows. In the UK, sharpening your saw could mean completing a free online Google certificate on how to use AI maybe, taking a course in digital marketing, coding, bookkeeping, moving into a sector with higher pay, like tech, finance, healthcare, etc. Starting a side hustle, like what I'm doing with this YouTube channel. Better skills equals better income equals more to invest. I'm not just getting this info from a book, I've lived it. Because in 2010, I was a miserable electrician. So because I didn't want to be a dark cloud, I went back to college to get some more engineering qualifications. 2 years later, I was working offshore and my income actually doubled. Section 4, invest steadily. not like a gambler. Not like me in 2011 when I lost our life savings, gambling on individual stocks. I talk about mistakes like this all the time. Hopefully you can learn from my painful mistakes so you don't make as many. Wealth is not built on chance. It is built on steady, consistent decisions, especially after 40. You don't want to YOLO your savings into crypto hype, stock tips from friends. Yes, that was me in 2011. Trendy scams, get-rich-quick schemes. You don't want to invest because of FOMO. Instead, you focus on reliable, proven investment vehicles. And we have some of the best here in the UK. Top UK options for steady, long-term growth include 1. Global index funds, FTSE Global All Cap, S&P 500, MSCI World, etc. 2. Stocks and shares ISA, tax-free investing, where you buy index funds and other assets. Learning how to be tax efficient is a big one. See below for yet another recent video. 3. Workplace pension with employer match. 4. Salary sacrifice pension contributions. 5. Boring, safe rental property, if financially viable. I've been a landlord for 23 years and I'm sick of it, to be honest, but I will stick with it for the time being so I can help my tenants, some of whom are family, where possible, and I like diversification. All I'm saying is index investing is much better, much less hassle, and I think you can get better returns long term. If you're 40 and start investing consistently for the next 20 years, you're in a better position than someone who spent 20 years gambling. Hopefully this video so far has given you more confidence to invest. And if you want one-to-one support, you can join my investing community on School. See below for the link. Section 5, get rid of high interest debt. Credit card debt, personal loans, high interest store cards. These are silent killers of financial freedom. Debt is a hole in your bucket. Patch the hole before trying to fill the bucket. In the UK, some debt is especially dangerous. Credit cards at 25 to 30% APR, buy now, pay later like Klarna, ClearPay, overdraft fees. This is one I've got a lot of experience with, by the way. Get rid of those first. It might take 6 months, it might take 2 years. From my experience, once you get rid of high interest debt, it brings calmness. And if you can be calm and neutral around money and investing, it makes you a better investor. Section 6, compounding works and is the opposite of bad debt. You do not need 40 years for compounding to help you. It would be a nice little bonus, but remember, we didn't invest in our 20s. And we aren't even going to think about years and years of compound interest. Anyway, you need consistency and you need time. Not 40 years, maybe 15 or 20, depending on how much you can afford to invest. Your 40s and 50s can easily become your strongest wealth building decades, years. Invest £500 a month at 10%. Over 20 years, you end up with roughly £379,000. Starting at 50, I'm sure you would be happy with 379k at 70. This isn't early retirement, but imagine getting to 70 and you don't have anything. You rely on the state pension. Please take this on board. Investing into assets is one of the most important things you will ever do in your life. It's never too late. It's only too late if you don't start. Section 7, the 30-day UK action plan. 1, track every pound. Use Monzo, Chase, UK, Money Hub, Money Dashboard, even a basic Excel spreadsheet. The important thing is that you do have a budget, so you fully understand your finances. Personal finance is the foundation before you even start thinking about investing. 2, automate your savings and investing. Set up a direct debit into your ISA, automatic pension contributions, salary sacrifice. This saves tax and national insurance. The less you rely on willpower, the more you win. 3, learn one investment vehicle. Pick one this month. How a stocks and shares ISA works, for example. How global index funds work. How workplace pensions and tax relief work. How to start a side income, side hustle. Learning creates confidence. Confidence creates action. Action creates change. I agree, this is a bit cheesy, but I do like it. Final message. Rewrite your story. It doesn't matter if you start late. What does matter is that you start sooner rather than later. And that is the message I want you to walk away with today. If you're in your 40s or 50s in the UK, you are not late. You are not locked out. You are not behind. You are just at the beginning of the next better chapter. I was the same at 35. I had to start again really after 18 years of being a clueless investor. When you combine UK tax advantages, discipline, steady investing, a strong mindset, consistent action, you become unstoppable. More cheese, but again, I like it. I think cheesy was one of my nicknames at school. The thing is, your future is not decided by your age. It's decided by what you do next. Summary. This video was all about investing in your 40s or even later. Hopefully the info has given you a gentle nudge towards investing. Let me leave you with a personal story of why investing is so important. Over my 24 years as an investor, I've met hundreds of people full of regrets. Contractors in their late 50s, early 60s who earned a fortune, like working overseas. I remember working in Oman back in 2020. A colleague, 60 years old at the time, told me I could have easily saved £1,000 per month between 40 and 60, but never did. If he'd invested that £1,000 every month in the SP 500 or similar, averaging 10% annually, which is in line with historical averages, he would have had over 750,000 today. That's financial freedom for most people. If you want to avoid this miserable little story, see below for a recent playlist so you can invest in the stock market with confidence.